this is Hedda. Welcome back to my channel. I am back in Norway and today I want to show you my bullet journal setup for June. I think it turned out really pretty and I can't wait to show you. I have a lot of things to look forward to in June and I hope you do as well. Before we get into the setup, a big thank you to Ana Luisa for sponsoring this video. Ana Luisa specializes in beautiful, long-lasting, and tarnish-resistant jewelry at affordable prices. Their pieces start at just $39 US. Their designs are really timeless and elegant, and I wear mine almost every day. I have quite the collection of Ana Luisa jewelry at this point, and I really love wearing them. This month they kindly gifted me 2 rings and 2 pairs of earrings that I've had my eyes on for a while. There's this ring that is made out of a necklace chain, kind of. It's really simple and elegant and I love how it feels on my finger. I can't even feel that I'm wearing it. I also got this thicker gold ring that kind of reminded me of my parents' wedding bands. They have very simple wedding rings. This one is definitely chunkier though, but that's kind of the vibe that I got from it. It's more of a statement piece, I would say. I also picked out 2 sets of simple gold hoops. These are kind of the same design but in 2 different sizes. I'm really excited to wear these all summer and I'm not really worried about sweat and humidity because these pieces have held up so well. Even after me spending time in humid Hawaii and traveling, they still look as shiny as they did when I first got them. Right now you can use my code mochibujo20 for 20% off your order from Ana Luisa. I will also put some links to some of my favorite pieces from them in the description box below. And now let's get into my bullet journal spreads for June in my B5 notebook, which is still very big. My notebook is the Neko notebook from Notebook Therapy. It's a B5 size. It has 176 pages. As you can see, it is already getting quite chunky. This one's gonna last me throughout all of 2023. I started it in January. For the setup, I am getting out a lot of blue and lilac stationery because I'm doing a blue theme again for June. I did a blue theme in January, but this time is gonna be more of a summery theme. While I was in Japan, the hydrangeas were just starting to bloom and it just reminded me of like rainy season and lots of hydrangeas in bloom, and also this flower that I really like that is all over Oslo right now. It's called lilac. I think it's a lilac. In Norwegian it's called Sørenga and I absolutely love them. I didn't draw any of those for this setup, but they give me the same vibe as hydrangeas do. So that's kind of the theme that I went for. I also drew some wind chimes because that's another thing that just remind me of summer, and June is the ultimate summer month, I think, especially here in Norway. Usually you think of like July and August as the summer months, but to be honest, the weather is always better in Norway in May and June, and so those are the months that feel most like summer to me. And although it's been a few years since I was in school, May is always that month that I associate with the summer holidays starting and the school year being over and just kind of this feeling of freedom. And so the end of May and like beginning of June always gives me this very light and bright and happy feeling. So I kind of wanted to make a theme in my journal that kind of embodied that feeling. Here you can see that I am drawing my cover page and I kind of came up with the different parts of the cover page kind of as I went a little bit. I had a loose sketch and kind of a loose idea of what I wanted, but I think that sometimes you just gotta jump into it and see where the process takes you. And that's kind of what I did with this cover page and I really like the end results. I decided to draw everything with blue fine liners. Some of my favorite fine liners are the Copic Multiliners, and while I was in Tokyo I found blue multiliners, so I got them in like 3 different sizes, the 0.1, 0.3 and 0.5, and I used those for the entire setup. So all of the line work that I am doing in the setup I did with those multiliners. Most of the washi tape that you'll see me use in the setup is from Notebook Therapy. It is from a really old collection called the Endless Summer collection, and it was one of the first washi tape sets that they released. I think it was like the second after the first cherry blossom themed set, and they are not in stock anymore, and they haven't been for quite some time, which is really sad because it's one of my favorites actually. I really love the theme and the colors and everything, and I think that their designs have definitely improved over the years, so I think that if they made a new Hydrangea theme, then that would be really cool. But for now, I'm using these, and I've almost used up the entire rolls, so I think by the end of me setting up like my weekly spreads and everything, they will probably be completely gone, which is sad, but you know, that's just how it is. I kind of wanted a boxy feel for June. I did take some inspiration from my May setup for my cover page, because as you will have noticed in my previous monthly setup, I did like a cover page on the left page of the spread, and then on the right page I did kind of a monthly overview, and I'm doing the same thing this month. So instead of having the calendar and the cover page together, I'm having the calendar on the next spread. I think it's nice to try different things, and this kind of just felt right. I feel like 1 month is not enough time to kind of fully get a feel for whether a type of spread is working or not. So yeah, I'm doing a second month in a row with a similar setup, but of course the cover page is very different. So since I have a lot of boxes on the right side, I decided to do boxes on the cover page as well, and kind of have different boxes with different imagery inside of them so that they kind of look like pictures put together, if that makes sense. I have a big panel kind of with a wind chime and some hydrangea, and then I'm using the washi tape also as like boxes. And then here I am drawing some teru teru bozu, which are little fabric dolls that you sometimes hang up in Japan. They're meant to help make the rain go away. I guess it's usually like a children's activity. You'll always see them like in elementary schools and daycares and stuff like that, because kids will make them because they're pretty simple to make, but they're really cute as well. I mean, they look a little bit scary because they're like white ghosts hanging from branches or hanging from windows and stuff, but yeah, pretty cute still. It was a little bit tricky to get the hang of the wind chime because it has like that glass, but to make the glass seem transparent but still there, I made sure to draw everything that kind of went behind the glass with thinner lines so that they weren't as visible, if that makes sense. So I went around everything with like the thicker fine liners, and then I just drew with the 0.1 kind of inside of the glass with a very light hand, and I didn't connect all of the lines so that it's like giving the impression that the glass is transparent but not completely, if that makes sense. I used a lot of different markers to color my spreads this time. I used some Tombow dual brush pens, I used some Mildliners, I used some Zig clean color real brushes. The Zig color that I used the most is the 303 Shadow Mauve. As for the Tombow dual brush pens, it was mostly 620 and 553 that I used. And then the Mildliners, I used the mild soda blue and the mild dark blue. And then I used also some zebra Clickart markers, and I used the blueberry ice and the soda blue. I actually also recently got some new Pentel Fude Touch sign pens in some blue and purple colors. So I used the gray blue in this setup a little bit, and then I also have the blue violet, but I don't think I used that in the setup because it was a little bit too dark and purple. I guess I actually also used the Kuretake Zig Clean Color Real Brush in number 34 Dull Blue and 312 Overcast Sky as well. I thought it was just the Shadow Mauve, but I guess I actually have a a couple more that I used to get a little bit more dimension and a few like darker blues as well, because although I wanted to keep it bright and light and summery, I guess you need like some darker colors for a little bit more dimension, I guess. Although the line art on the flowers is quite detailed because of all the tiny flowers, I mean it took forever to draw, but even though the line art is detailed, I tried to not feel like I needed to make the coloring too detailed. So what I did is I basically just colored the whole ball of flowers, and then I just went in with the same colored marker and kind of just like scribbled a little bit like in the middle of each of the flowers to create a little bit of dimension, and that's why you can kind of see the little dots within the flowers. And then for the other parts of the pictures, I decided to just use the same colors, like the same blue colors, and kind of keeping it a little bit monochromatic. I mean, it is both purple and blue, but you know, just like keeping it within the same color family, I guess. And then for the background of each of the frames, I went in with the thinner felt nib, so the Mildliners, the Tombow dual brush pens, the Clickart, they all have this like thinner felt nib. And I just made some lines in the background and kind of made some of them go like all the way down, and some of them has like little breaks and dots and stuff to kind of simulate rain. I wanted it to look like it was rainy in the background without having to think too much about like the details of the droplets and whatever. So yeah, I think that it turned out really cool, and I am happy that I came up with that idea. I think that it makes a really cool effect. And then of course I had drawn these sparkles, and at first I thought I would make them blue, but then I decided to go in with a contrasting color. So I used the Mauve Le Plume 2 number 43 brilliant yellow, and I used that to color in the sparkles. There's just something really nice about blue and yellow, I think, or like using yellow as an accent color to blue, and because the sparkles are pretty small, it doesn't feel too disruptive. For the little paper thingy that's hanging down from the wind chime, I wasn't quite sure what to do, so I ended up using washi tape to decorate it instead of trying to draw something. So I used this wide washi tape from the Endless Summer set from Notebook Therapy, and I just like put two strips kind of opposing each other so that the gradient would make sense. So it kind of goes from dark to light to dark again, and I think it turned out quite nice. For some final touches, I got out some white paint, or I'm not sure if I can call it paint, but it is kind of this white paint that Copic makes that you can use with your Copic markers to kind of get this like opaque white to use as highlights. And I just used a regular like watercolor brush to apply it to the page, and I think it turned out quite cool. And that was pretty much it for the cover page, and now I move on to the other side of the spread, which is going to be kind of a monthly overview. And as you can see, I got tweezers for my stickers. I'm very proud of them. They're just regular nail tweezers. And I used a lot of alphabet stickers for this setup. These particular ones are from a company called Mauve. I got them in Japan. I bought them either at Loft or at Tokyo Hands. I get a lot of questions about the stickers that I bought in Japan, but yeah, Mauve, that's the company. I mainly have 4 different boxes on this page. I have a little calendar for the month, since I don't have a big calendar on the spread. So I have a small calendar, and then I have a section for my priorities for the month, which I would normally call focus, I guess, but last month and then this month I am just calling it priorities. And then I have a box for important dates, and also a box for the main tasks for the month. The tiny little washi tape here is from BGM, and BGM is a wonderful washi tape company. I bought this one in Japan as well, but you can find BGM washi tapes all over the internet, and this one's really cute. It has little bows on it, and it's just like a small little border that I thought would be a nice little addition to the spread. It's also very subtle. I used the 0.5 blue fine liner to make the boxes so that they would kind of stand out, because there is a lot of color happening and a lot of decoration and stuff. So just wanted to make sure that the boxes didn't like disappear, I guess. I just really love the combination of stickers, washi tape, and drawings, and I feel like these washi tapes worked really well with this setup because they are less detailed than newer Notebook Therapy washi tapes. So they're a lot simpler and they have like some gold details, but they're not overpowering in a way. So I feel like they fit really well. I struggled a little bit with the alphabet stickers and like having enough letters for everything that I wanted to write, but I think it worked out almost perfectly. You'll see a little bit missing on the next page, but I did fix it somehow. So I have 2 sheets of these alphabet stickers and they have like 2 different sizes on each sheet, so I used the smaller ones for this because I felt like the big ones were maybe a little bit too big. I think it would have worked either way, but I have more of the small ones, so since I needed to write quite a few words with them, I went for the smaller ones. And then for some extra decoration on the spread to make sure that it wasn't only boxes and lists, I decided to draw some hydrangeas in the bottom right corner. And what I did to make sure that the flowers didn't kind of like drown or blend too much into each other is that I drew all of them with a 0.1 fine liner, just because there was a lot of small short lines very close together. But then I went around the whole ball of flowers with the 0.3 so that the 2 balls of flowers are kind of, more separated, if that makes sense. So yeah, this drawing took a long time, and these flowers are the reason that I actually split this setup into 2 days because it was just a lot of drawing and it's just a lot for my wrist, so I just took it a little bit easy. But although they seem very detailed, they're really easy to draw, and I tried a few different interpretations of the hydrangeas, and also there are lots of different hydrangeas, and I'm no hydrangea expert, but I did go to a botanical garden a little bit west of Tokyo called Hanabiori a little while ago, and they had a lot of different types of hydrangeas. Some of them had like spiky leaves or petals, I guess, spiky petals, and some of them had smooth, soft petals. And so for the Patreon rewards for this month, the Patreon Happy Mail, I drew some hydrangeas that had the spiky petals because it does look a little bit more interesting, I think. But of course, for these larger balls of flowers that has like a lot of flowers on them, is a lot easier to go for the smoother petals because it is a lot of drawing as it is. So having to draw little spiky petals would have just been too much for me, I think. Overall, I'm really happy with how my cover page turned out. I think that it's really busy, but in a good way, and I did make sure to like leave quite a bit of white space around everything that was happening like on the page to kind of condense it a little bit. And I think that also means that maybe my notebook is a little bit too big for me, but it is what it is. So on this next spread, I am doing a calendar on the left side. What is great about B5 notebooks for me is that I can fit a whole monthly calendar on one spread. Usually with an A5 notebook or a smaller notebook, I would need like the entire spread to make the calendar so that there would be room to write anything. But in a B5, you can fit everything. If you look closely, you'll probably be able to see a spot where I had to write a letter with a marker because I didn't have enough stickers. And I think it happened twice while I was setting this up that I just didn't have enough stickers because I only bought 2 sheets of the alphabet stickers. I just honestly didn't think that I would need any more, but here we are. There are just some letters that you use a lot more often than others. I don't usually write the days of the week in my calendars, but I wanted to do it this time because I had the alphabet stickers and it was just fun, and it felt like it would make it feel more put together if I used the alphabet stickers more. And then to kind of contrast the alphabet stickers, I made sure to write June like with my kind of hand lettering font every time I needed to write the title of the month, because I can't really replicate the same font as the stickers perfectly. And also I like mixing fonts because life is more fun that way. For the dates in the calendar, I used my own stickers from my shop, ikigaipapir.com. These particular stickers aren't actually out yet, but they will be released very, very soon. I am just waiting for some more decorative stickers for this whole Hydrangea theme before I release them. Just want to have the whole collection available before I open the shop, just so that I don't like release a collection in 2 parts because it's a little bit annoying. So it will happen very soon, and you can sign up to the newsletter over on my website ikigaipapir.com, and I will send out an email once the collection is being released. You can also keep track of everything that's happening over on Instagram. I have an Instagram page dedicated purely to the shop, and I try to update that semi-regularly. So that's kind of the news about the shop. I recently did a big restock of a lot of stickers that were low in stock or out of stock, and I am hoping that this summer I won't be sold out of anything. And yeah, also working on more releases, always working. Anyway, I think the calendar turned out really cute. I like that it has minimal decoration, but it looks like it fits with the theme anyway. And I colored in the hydrangeas with 2 different blues so that they would look a little bit different and not blend into each other too much. And then I moved on to the next page on the spread, and this page has a couple of things on it. It has a little overview over the videos I want to make in June, or videos I want to release in June rather. I just wrote video schedule, even though it's not really a schedule, it's more like a list. And I have room for 4 because I want to publish 4 videos in June. I really want to get back in the groove. You know, I used to publish videos every week, and it's been a little bit less than that recently. I think I've been down to 2 mostly since beginning of April or even March, I'm not sure. So yeah, that's something that I want to focus on more this summer. The rest of the spread will be kind of a weekly overview of the month. I did take some space on the right side of the page for decoration because I didn't need the whole spread for my lists really. So I went for like a similar look as on the cover page to kind of pull it all together. So I have some squares and rectangles and some washi tape here, and I kind of built this spread or this page, and I kind of built this page as I went, just little by little, and then just finished up sections as I went. So here I have another title, and I just wrote overview. I did not have enough E's to write weekly overview and I even like messed up and lost an E sticker. When I was cleaning up my desk, I still couldn't find it. I'm not sure where it went, so that's why I had to write E with a marker, because I had it all planned out that I would have just enough E's to write overview, and then I just like picked it up with a tweezer, and then something happened and it just flew away. I don't know, I can't explain it. For this overview, I used stamp stickers from the Notebook Therapy Endless Summer Washi Tape set. And then I also got out some silicone stamps from BGM. I found this set in Japan pretty much right before I was about to leave, and I just had to get it because it has an airmail stamp and like postage stamps and numbers and just like really cute stamps. So I'm really happy that I got it, and I was really eager to use it, so I used the numbers for the spread. I also got a new blue ink pad just for this setup, so that's how excited I was to use the stamp set. I need a good way to like organize and store my silicone stamps because I feel like it gets messy. Like with wooden stamps, you just kind of keep them in a box or in a drawer or something. But the silicone stamps, I don't know, it's just a little bit different. Let me know how you guys store silicone stamps if you have any, and if you have any tips. If you're wondering how I use the weekly overview, I pretty much just like jot down a few things that I want to focus on in those weeks, because my schedule is like a monthly cycle kind of, because I have monthly rewards for my patrons. I try to do a shop update every month, and then I have like a certain number of videos that I do every month, and I have like my bullet journal themes and my reading journal setups and all of that. So it's all on this monthly cycle, and that makes it very easy for me to kind of write down like this week I need to focus on this week I need to focus on that, and just kind of have permanent tasks in certain weeks. My cat has decided to join the conversation. He actually doesn't like it when I speak English. I don't know, maybe my voice changes from my Norwegian voice, but whenever I'm on the phone talking English or recording for a video, he doesn't like it. I don't know what it is. But here he is. He's in a good mood now though. Anyway, the final decorations on this page was this panel on the right side where I have 3 different pictures with washi tape in between, and the top one is a picture of more teru teru bozu, which are usually white, but I colored them with more blue grayish color just to match everything else. And then I drew a wind chime underneath, and then more hydrangea, of course, because gotta have more flowers. And at this point I was pretty fed up with the flowers because it was taking so long. And then I knew that I would still have to go in and draw more hydrangeas for the Patreon printables that I make for my patrons every month. And this month they are getting a hydrangea theme. The printables will be available both as June and July printables. I am testing out this new way of making the printables by like making them kind of more applicable to the coming month and the month after, because some people like to set up their journals really early in advance. I like to set mine up just before the next month, but I know that some people like to set them up weeks in advance, maybe months. So I am testing that out for a little bit and see how people like it. If you want to join my Patreon, I have put a link in the description box. It is a really fun place. I can definitely recommend it. You get printables every month and access to our patron only Discord server. There is a book club there now. There is, stuff going on, lots of enabling and stationary fangirling. So yeah, it's a really fun place. My patrons are just the best, and I am so thankful to each and every one of them, and I strive every month to make better content, better printables every month, and just make it a really nice experience for them too. And I really hope that it is, because I do put my heart and soul into this. I really feel like I'm on a roll with like some fun, colorful themes so far this spring. Like my April theme was bright and pink, and then May was green and pink, and I love the naked cats. I'm just not really ready to let go of them yet, so I'm really happy that I made stickers with them so that I can just pop them in all kinds of themes from now on. And then this month turned out really nice, and I have a history of struggling with blue, but I love this, and I think I can confidently say that I don't dislike blue anymore. And I'm really happy that I did blue for June. I think it's great. Blue isn't just for like cold, wintry themes. It's definitely also for summery themes. And as I'm finishing up this page, that is the end of my monthly setup for June. The rest of my spreads for this month will be weekly spreads, which I will try to film the setup of. Maybe I'll put it over on my Instagram and my TikTok. I haven't quite decided yet, because sometimes I just want to journal when it's not good lighting, or you know. But as always, we'll do a little flip through so that we can get a closer look at the spreads that I made in this video. And if you have watched this video all the way to the end, make sure to put a blue emoji in the comment section so that you can let me know that you enjoyed the video. Make sure to click the like button and the subscribe button, very important. A big thank you to Ana Luisa for sponsoring this video. Remember, you can get 20% off by using my code mochibujo20. As always, thank you so much for watching the video. I appreciate you so much. I hope that you're all having a lovely day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!